Hey travelers, welcome back to Laura's Travel Talk. This week, in our ongoing series of the 50 U.S. states one a week, we're going to Massachusetts. Yeah, Massachusetts. And it is a big little state. So Massachusetts is the Bay State, but it's got all kinds of history and culture from this historic and bustling city of Boston. Look at those old cobblestone streets. Love it. Scenic shores out on the ocean. There's something for everyone. I've got a quick list here of the must-visit places, the sports teams, the food, and you're going to have to rely on some of my links that I put in the description section because there is so much to cover in Massachusetts. I would not have time to cover it all. So go into the comments, leave me your comments about Boston. Don't give me grief if I miss anything because it's a lot going on in Massachusetts. So let's get started. So our first stop is going to be Gloucester and Rockport. Look at the guy at the wheel of the ship. If that doesn't say seaside shanty, I don't know what does. So in Rockport, this is a postcard perfect coastal town with boutiques, shopping, seafood, restaurants. Gloucester is America's oldest seaport, known for whale watching and its fish heritage. You can go downtown and do some wonderful shopping in all these old antique stores and seaside village looking places to eat. And it's just got cool artisan and crafts for you to buy as well. I wanted to point out that first building there is known as Motif Number 1 because it is the most painted building in the US. If you're an artist, is there a better backdrop? I don't think so. Beautiful. Next, we're going to make a quick stop in Springfield. Springfield's the birthplace of basketball. That's right. You can go to the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame. That's it right there. Pretty cool looking, right? There's also the Dr. Seuss Museum, which is perfect for family vacation time. That Cat in the Hat makes me nuts. But I love Dr. Seuss. And then also the Big E is the Eastern States Exposition, and it's a must if you're visiting in September because it is a giant, massive fair. So get yourself out to Springfield. Well, next we got to have a nod to Harvard and Cambridge. Harvard University and MIT. They offer beautiful architecture and history. Vibrant intellectual town with bookstores, coffee shops, cultural events. You can take a Harvard Yard tour and you get a tour by the students. You can go to Cambridge, get the same thing. Look at the yards there. That looks like you're going to play Quidditch out there to me. And then there's also the Harvard Museum of Natural History. It's got some great natural history exhibits. So I think you should probably stop there as well. Enjoy. Next stop, the Berkshires. That is a nature and cultural retreat. Get away from the big city, the hustle and bustle, and look at this. It's a beautiful mountainous region. It's filled with hiking trails, arts, music. My gosh, look at that. And it's home to Tanglewood, which is the summer home of the Boston Symphony Orchestra. And I am telling you, I have heard the Boston Symphony Orchestra play. It's like all enveloping. It's fantastic. Someday you should do that. And If you want to make a weekend out of it, go to a B&B and make it a whole charming weekend. There's a whole lot of them up there. Enjoy. So our next stop is Plymouth. It's where America began. Why is it great? Well, it's the landing place of the Pilgrims in 1620, for crying out loud. Featuring Plymouth Rock. And the Mayflower, too. It's a gorgeous place to go. You can dive into early American history, and they have complete reenactments. You go to Plymouth Patuxent museums, and they do live demonstrations of 17th century life. Look at that. It's like a whole village. I love it. And then you can go down and walk along the waterfront and see those scenic views of the harbor. I said harbor. I can't help myself. Love. Well, we got to go to Salem, the witch city. I mean, come on. It's known for the Salem witch trials of 1692, and there's museums and historical sites dedicated to that weird and wacky, eerie past in America. It's a spooky, yet it's a fun-filled town with haunted history, especially in October. But you can visit the witch house, the Salem Witch Museum, and learn all about the trials. And if you go in October, you get the full Halloween experience. But it's a fun place to hang out and learn about the history, all about the witch trials. And if you care to take a ghost tour at night, you get a little deeper dive into the haunted history. Bum, bum, bum. So, we need to do a nod to Martha's Vineyard in Nantucket. Do I need to say anything? I mean, come on. Famous island getaways with pristine beaches, historic charm. You can just stroll along the town. You can do nothing. You can do everything. It's just beautiful. All the celebrity favorite vacation spots are there. There's boutique shopping, scenic views. You can rent a place for the week and just enjoy yourself. My tip would be, if you're going to take the ferry over, book tickets in advance in the summer because it gets crowded. Or you can rent a bike and explore at a relaxed pace. Get out of here. Well, not unlike Nantucket and Martha's Vineyard, now we got Cape Cod. It's New England's summer escape. Again, they look like pictures painted. They have stunning beaches, charming small towns, and some of the best seafood shacks around. You can go whale watching, kayaking, you can bike along the Cape Cod Rail Trail. There's art history, and there's beautiful places along the beach where you can take the family out and enjoy your day. Get yourself a lobster roll while you're there. So, I guess we have to stop in Boston. It is the heart of Massachusetts, after all. My gosh, look at those little cobblestone streets and how narrow they are. Boston is an old town. It is one of the most historic cities in the U.S., filled with Revolutionary War landmarks. It's home to world-class museums, sports, and some of the best seafood in the country. You can take a walk down the Freedom Trail, and it explores, 16 historic sites, including Paul Revere's house. You can see the Old North Church, one if by land, two if by sea. You know the drill. You can go out and visit the Boston Tea Party ships and museum. There's Paul Revere there. Or you can stroll through Boston Commons and enjoy a ride on some of the famous swan boats. Boston in the spring and fall is just beautiful. I mean, there's a lot to do and see because of all the history that's there. So get out and enjoy it. Okay, we're going to run through some Massachusetts sports. And let me tell you, they've got some teams. So, I have to whip through these quickly. So I'm going to give you the best stats I can from a West Coast girl. But don't give me grief. First off, we have the Boston Celtics. My gosh. They played at Boston Garden, established in 1946. It is TD Garden. They had the famous first parquet flooring. And they had such Hall of Famers as Bird, Russell, Havlicek, Garnett, McHale, Cousy. I can't even get them all. However, they did just in 2024 break their tie with the Los Angeles Lakers that had 17 wins, and Boston now has 18. So that's the Boston Celtics. And you can see all of their banners up in the rafters at TD Gardens. Where'd it go? All right. The New England Patriots in the NFL, one of the most successful NFL teams ever, and they play at Gillette Stadium. Where do I start? This team was established in 1959, and they have won 6 Super Bowls. 2001, 2003, 2004, 2014, 2016, and 2018. But the incredible thing is, they did it all with the quarterback Tom Brady and the coaching of Bill Belichick. Along with Gronk, Edelman, Moss, these guys were an unstoppable dynasty. Congrats. So now we have the Boston Red Sox in the MLB, and they play at the historic Fenway Park, home of the Green Monster. And it's the oldest ballpark in the U.S. So I don't even know where to start with this one. So they have won the World Series 9 times. So they won in 1903, and then they racked up 4 more up until 1918. And as most people know, in 1920, they sold off the famous Babe Ruth to the New York Yankees, later known as the Curse of the Great Bambino. Because from then on, they went through an 86-year drought and never won. Because they sold off Babe Ruth. What were they thinking? But they have since broke that, and they won the World Series in 2004, 2007, 2013, and 2018. And I will say that this team has quite a legacy of stats. I mean, you've got Ted Williams, Carl Yastrzemski, known as Yaz, Carlton Fisk, Noma at shortstop, Kurt Schilling with the bloody sock, David Ortiz, Big Papi, and Pedro Martinez. I love that picture of them winning the World Series. Congrats. And then we have the Boston Bruins in the NHL. Holy cow. They were established in 1924. They've won the Stanley Cup 6 times, with 2011 being their latest. They have such fantastic players as Phil Esposito, Bork, Bergeron, Buchek, Marchand, Neely, and none other than Bobby Orr. They are part of the original 6. The original 6, for those of you that aren't aware, are the 6 first teams in the NHL. The Toronto Maple Leafs, Boston Bruins, New York Rangers, Detroit Red Wings, Montreal Canadiens, and the Chicago Blackhawks. They have been around a long time. Okay, y'all, we're going to whip through some of the fantastic food that you should eat when you're in Massachusetts. Number 1, lobster roll. Look at those lumps of lobster meat with drawn butter, or it's served cold with mayo. It's best in Cape Cod or Boston. Get you some New England clam chowder. Clam chowder is loaded with fresh clams. Get some Boston cream pie. It is wicked good. The official state dessert, it's filled with custard and topped with chocolate. What could go wrong? You gotta get a fluffin' nutter sandwich. Yeah, that's peanut butter and marshmallow fluff. This one is grilled. Then you got fried clams. If you like clams, what else can I say? Then you got Moxie soda. Moxie is a unique, slightly bitter soda that's a regional favorite. I've never had a Moxie soda, but I guess I'll get one next time I'm up there. And lastly, cranberry everything. Cranberry bogs are everywhere in Massachusetts. They grow well. You've got gelled cranberries, like I grew up on, in the can on the top, cocktails, pie, jello molds, sugared cranberries, cranberry cocktail, juice. It's all there. So I want to thank you guys for watching. I know this was kind of a rush through Massachusetts because there's a lot to do in that state, but I appreciate it. I'd love to hear some comments. Please leave them in the comment section. And I'm working on a challenge with YouTube, so if you could watch the video through to the end, that would be fantastic. Don't forget to subscribe and like. And I appreciate you once again. And we will see you next week when we have another state. And in the meantime, go get yourself some lobster.